Hello.
1, 2, 3. 3 questions. 3 questions. Just 3 questions. With Jack Lewis.
Do yourself a favor and get some today.
Welcome back. Thanks to our sponsors, Firewood, best way. Firewood, best way to start a fire. Thanks so much. So 3 questions. I was proud to welcome our next guests, filmmakers Benny and Josh, or I don't know if you prefer Josh and Benny Safdie. Thanks everyone. Have a good round of applause. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It'd be great if you just lean down, stay in frame. Yeah.
Welcome guys. Welcome to Portland.
Thank you. Thanks for letting us stay in your house.
Sure. No problem. You guys are brothers.
Yeah.
You made this film, Daddy Longlegs. It's loosely based on your upbringing. Yeah, there's parts that are autobiographical. The movie's about a divorced father who has 2 weeks with his kids a year, trials and tribulations and heartache and I don't know.
He doesn't want to be forgotten.
Yeah. And this film, which I saw last night, which is great, by the way.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I actually did watch it. I know a lot of talk show hosts say they watched the movie. I did see it.
That's a cheat sheet, we know.
Yeah. Before the film, you worked on a bunch of different projects together that were maybe more humorous, comedic. What compelled you to do something a little more serious?
Well, we were trying to actually make a comedy, and what ended up happening was the movie you saw.
Yeah,
we approach it everything as a comedy, and sometimes sadness creeps in.
Yeah, I think everything should be approached as a comedy. And
Just sometimes the jokes get cut out.
I mean, the subject matter we were dealing with, you know, we could laugh at, and we always have laughed at, and that was our way of dealing with it. But we had, naturally it took a serious tone and a devastating tone.
It's funny though, because you'll watch it, and sometimes people will laugh at the entire movie. Our dad laughs throughout the entire thing. And so, sometimes some people find it funny.
So your dad's seen the movie once or multiple times?
12 times. 12 times. 12th time when it moved up to the Uptown Theater in New York.
It takes everybody he knows to see it also.
You guys are part of a collective of artists and filmmakers called
Red Bucket Films.
Red Bucket Films. Red Bucket Films. And
It started in high school. Benny and I met this guy Alex Kalman, and then he went off to Bard, and we went out to Boston for college, and then we met some people at Boston, oddly all from New York.
A group. I mean, we have a studio in New York that we work out of, and that's really just, it's a platform for, conversation. We come in and,
They're usually these are the first people you're bouncing off first ideas off.
Everybody's. It's all. We just fight. So we fight a lot.
A lot. We have a small space, and we're all kind of on top of each other. And we're just joking. We're like trying to manage our time between joking and fighting, and trying to make sure that the games are a little bit, superior to the fighting.
I'm curious if you guys as brothers got in a lot of fights, or if you got along fine.
Well, we did fight. That's actually what made it better, was fighting. But because it's like we do it all, wake up at 5 in the morning, have intense arguments about everything, and then we sort of get it out of our system. Because in the end, what mattered was the end product, not each other really.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, fighting is the best way to understand what you care about.
And then what's fun about being brothers is after you fight, 5 minutes later, it just sort of disappears into, you don't even know what you were fighting about.
Since you did the movie on a very low budget, there are a lot of parts of the movie that look like you made it very difficult for yourself.
So we don't kind of come up with an idea unless we think we can do it with what we have around us. you know, and not. It sucks to kind of restrict the mind. You know, it's not like we're making an action film, so you know, the only time we may be restricted is the car crash. We had the car crash in the movie that, you know, we just couldn't, you know, do it the right way, and it's not in the movie. It's actually better. The movie's better for not having it. So these restraints, you know, end up reifying and restructuring the film in a good way.
Three questions.
I grew up in New York, and I would go uptown to visit my grandmother, and always pass the tram. I'd always be excited to see the tram going across. Yeah. It fits. I wonder, there's a few movies that use the tram.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you could do a whole.
Yeah, there's supposedly, when we were shooting, there's supposedly a Sylvester Stallone movie that ends.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
What is that movie?
What's it called? It's not Cobra. It's I think with Rutger Hauer.
It's called Nighthawks, you idiot. Do your homework before asking your questions. Do your homework.
I gotta see it, because while we were filming it, Ronald Bronstein, who plays the lead actor, he was saying when we were shooting it, we was like shot across, it was like the end of the movie, and it has this very epic feel to it. While we were shooting it, it was like a foggy day, and he said he just kept thinking of Sylvester Stallone and how like suiting that was for some reason, picturing like Sly Stallone on the bridge, on the tram entrance. But you know, like that feeling of like going uptown and like seeing this thing just like hover above the water and you know, kind of travel alongside the what was once considered like a heinous bridge, like the 59th Street Bridge, which I think is really beautiful. Just like that, you just have like an element of like freedom that like just jumps into your veins, and I don't know, it just seems like such a backwards form of transportation, and like a fun, like it seems so triumphant. You like, go up into the air, and you know, you
it's
just
like a ride. It's like a ride.
Looked at more as a ride, I think, by people who live in New York, especially. Well, tourism obviously banks on that, but as a New Yorker, I've always looked at that as like a Ferris wheel in a way, because it's just like this. You know, when do you get to hover above the city?
Yeah,
never.
Definitely. So you're on a tour of the States right now. You're showing the movie everywhere, and packing the places everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Well, definitely everyone in my audience is going to go see it.
Please, I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, you know, go see it. And you know, like you obviously here for the show, big fans of Jack's. I mean, I don't need to. I guess I'm catering to the crowd here, but not pandering to the crowd, not catering to the crowd. It's the opposite. So go see the movie. Go see it.
A signal from our producer.
Where?
I just need another couple minutes.
Who are you talking to?
Producer over there.
Oh.
Up there.
It's behind the cue card guy. All right. I think we'll take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with the Safdie brothers. A quick word from our sponsor.
Firewood.
So, do yourself a fucking favor and get some of this shit, now.
It's not gold. It's firewood.
Welcome back to the show. Thanks to Firewood, our sponsors today. Firewood, best way to start a fire. Keep a fire going. Firewood. So you guys
We're
are
allowed to keep this.
sure.
Okay.
It's free, complimentary.
Oh,
Nice sponsors.
Yeah. So you guys are touring around the country. Do you find that you run into a lot of people at your screenings that want to tell you about their families?
Yeah. I mean, I listen. You can't make a movie that presents itself honestly, and that you're not. You have to welcome these type of reactions.
I'm into it. I think that good art. I mean, I'm not saying that art. What we've done is good, but to me, good art is fine expression is when you feel invested in it personally, and you start to, it becomes a reflection of yourself.
You start to read into it a certain way, so that's only natural that people will treat you like a therapist in a way.
And we've gotten so many emails through the grapevine.
Yeah, there was one we showed at a university where the whole thing just sort of divulged into this therapy session, where everybody, like one person said, well, since they shared, I'd like to share my story. And I was like, it was insane. It was really interesting because that had never happened before.
And these were all like the toughest of tough kids. Like we were expecting them to just kind of give us the middle finger.
Yeah.
And then one person just opened up and everyone just kind of like melted into mush.
It started asking the best. And then that, like, what's crazy is once you start like just talking about the autobiographical or just the personal side of it all, it actually ends up then leading you to talk about emotions and stuff, which are deep things, and then it allows good questions. And
the movie stars.
There was one time where this family got into a.
You're not the host.
No, this one time this family got into a fight.
The woman really liked the movie, but her husband hated it. And then she was saying she liked it because it reminded her of her mother, and she starts telling us all this stuff, and then the husband got really jealous, and he was like, well, that's not fair, my dad did bad stuff to me too, and then like started like bragging in a way about it, trying to get...
It was only interesting because the first, every once in a while we do a Q&A.
And while the credits are screening, you'll just see one person in the audience with their arm raised, waiting to ask the first question.
And this guy, his first question was, "Kid, why would you make a movie with not one likable character?" And then, his wife ended up telling, like, these characters are not believable. And then his wife ended up
hitting him
and telling him, how dare you? This movie is near and dear to me, and I, had a mom just like that. And then, she made him feel like shit, and he ended up
asking for
autographs. Yeah.
I mean, the character is obviously the main character played by Ronnie. What's his last name?
Bronstein.
Ronnie Bronstein. It's a complicated character.
Yeah.
Likeable, unlikable, like a regular person.
Yeah.
And you developed the character. He developed the character together over the filmmaking and over rehearsals. Were you ever worried that it was going to go one way or the other? Too unlikable, too likable, or?
Nah, question never entered the conversation.
We were just making it how he was.
And if you didn't like him, you didn't like him. If you liked him, you did. But
I mean, because we hated and loved the guy.
Yeah.
So we were more
your actual
interested
dad or the character.
The character and our actual dad. I mean,
we were interested in hate and love,
yeah.
and like moments when you love this guy, moments when you hate him, and when you hate somebody, it's like tricky because a lot of people they think that if they can hate a character who is fictional in a sense, that means that he's despicable and unlikable, and sometimes it's interpreted as like, I hate this movie. But really what they should be thinking about is, why do I hate this person? What is it inside of me that's making me hate this person? And why do I also love him at times?
It's the opposite of the hippie culture. Hate and love, not peace and love.
Yeah.
Trying to provoke you.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't have any reflexes. That's the thing.
Well, thanks guys for coming to Portland, stopping by, 3 questions.
Oh yeah.
And good luck on the rest of your tour.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Good luck on your job, Hunt.
Thanks.
Yeah, we heard you were trying.
Yeah, this show's not working out so well. So, 2 more people watch it.
I mean, the live audience here is something.
They're really supportive.
Yeah, to work for. I mean, that would drive me.
Yeah. All right.
Somebody here is going to drive us, right? to San Francisco? No?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
Josh and Benny Safdie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for coming. See you next week.
Get some flowers.
Three questions. Just 3 questions.
Just 3 questions.